Have you ever been in the middle of a dream and suddenly realized, wait a second, I'm dreaming? Well, this is lucid dreaming. What if you could cultivate a practice to do this repeatedly, to repeatedly be aware that you are dreaming? Then maybe you could even take control, flying into outer space, speaking to your subconscious, eliminating nightmares, or doing something really, really big, like asking, what is the meaning of life? And in a previous video, I talked about how I tried lucid dreaming for 30 days and it changed my life. And it really did change my life. So in this video, I'm gonna take you step by step exactly what you need to do to start having lucid dreams. And who knows, with enough focus, maybe you could even have a lucid dream tonight. Okay, so let's get into the essential techniques, the things I would start if I was a beginner and the things all advanced lucid dreamers still do. The first thing you need to do is sleep properly. And this graph shows the stages of sleep. Now, normally our stages of sleep are in 90-minute cycles. Well, if you're only sleeping 4, 5, or 6 hours, you're not getting those awesome 45, 50, 60-minute REM cycles that you have after you've slept for 5 or 6 hours. You want those long cycles because when you have those longer cycles, it means more dreaming. And if there's more dreaming, it means a higher chance of having a lucid dream. So technique number 1 is sleep properly. Technique number 2 is actually want to have a lucid dream and have a goal in mind. You need to find some sort of internal motivation. Why are you doing this? Technique number 3, essential technique number 3, is you should start to record your dreams in a dream journal. Now, you can use your phone and download an app or just write on your notes app, but I don't like to look at my phone during the middle of the night because I think the blue light from it, and it just creates a bad habit. So I actually have a little book on my nightstand, and I pull it out whenever I have a dream and I write those things down. I also have a little light that I turn on and I'll just write down my lucid dreams every time I have a lucid dream. And this sucks in the beginning. You're like, why am I waking up? This is so annoying. I don't want to write down my dreams, but you have to keep doing this. So we're doing this again for a couple of reasons. Number 1, as I'll say it again and again, you want to indicate to yourself, indicate to your subconscious that this lucid dreaming thing is important. Number 4 is use reality checks. Well, what are reality checks? Well, it's just testing to see if you're in real life. So for example, if you look down your hands should look pretty normal. You should be able to see, okay, I can see 5 fingers on each of my hands, and I can see that my hands aren't really that blurry. That's a reality check. In the dream, your hands might look blurry, or you might have 6, 7 fingers. Another reality check is pinching your nose and trying to breathe through it. In real life, when you try to breathe through your nose and it's pinched, you can't breathe through it, right? But in the dream, you can actually still breathe through the nose. And according to the internet, this is one of the best reality checks there are. And the whole idea behind doing these silly things like looking at your hands and pinching your nose is that maybe when you're in your dream, you'll do one of these checks. Because if you start to do it during the day, like maybe every hour or every time something happens, you'll start to maybe do it when one of those things happened in a dream. And when you do it in the dream, you'll be like, wait a second, I can breathe through my nose. Wait a second, I have 7 fingers. This is a dream. I am dreaming. Okay, so those are all the essential techniques. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna sleep properly. You're gonna pick a goal for why you wanna do this whole lucid dreaming thing and what you wanna do when you have your first lucid dream. The next thing you wanna do is you wanna keep a dream journal. Start recording your dreams every single night. It's gonna suck, but do it. And number 5, start doing reality checks. Start looking at your hands, pinching your nose every hour during the day or whenever you do something. I like to do it whenever I take a drink of water. Okay, so now let's talk about the advanced methods, the advanced techniques to really get you to start lucid dreaming like right now. So the first technique we're going to talk about is mild, which is just mnemonic-induced lucid dreaming. And this is really a simple technique. Okay, so what it entails is when you wake up and write down your dreams, because you should be waking up and writing down all your dreams, right? When you fall back asleep, you just do 2 things. The first thing you do is you tell yourself as you're falling asleep, when I fall back asleep, I will realize I'm dreaming. When I fall back asleep, I will realize I'm dreaming. The next thing you do is you picture yourself becoming lucid in the previous dream. So what does this mean? Well, if in the previous dream you were getting ice cream at an ice cream store, you would picture yourself getting this ice cream, but instead, while you're getting the ice cream from the store, you would realize, wait a second, I'm dreaming. So that's what you do. You just keep repeating to yourself, wait a second, I'm dreaming. And then you also tell yourself, when I fall back asleep, I'm going to have a lucid dream. The next method is the WBTV method, or the wake back to bed method. And what this method entails is you set an alarm for about 4.5 to 5 hours after you fall asleep. And why are we doing this? Well, remember from that graph from the very beginning of the video that I showed you, well, 4.5 to 5 hours after we go to sleep, we're at that peak amount of REM sleep, that peak amount of dream time. Okay, so we've set that alarm for 4.5 to 5 hours. The next thing we do is we wake up, obviously at that 4.5 to 5 hours, we get out of bed and we do something for like 5 to 50 minutes. The reason this range is so big because it really depends on the person. The whole point of doing doing this kind of wake up and staying awake before falling back asleep is we want to awaken our prefrontal cortex. Our prefrontal cortex is the part of our brain that's responsible for logical thinking. And usually when you're asleep, this kind of part of your brain is also pretty much asleep. But when you use the wake back to bed method, you wake up enough for this part of your brain to wake up. So when you fall back asleep, this part of your brain that's responsible for logical thinking will be aware. So when you see a pig flying across the sky or a sheep riding around on rollerblades, you're going to be like, wait a second, that doesn't make sense. Hopefully because your prefrontal cortex is more awake. And this is really hard to do because if you stay awake too long, then you'll be too much awake and you won't be able to fall back asleep. But if you don't wake up long enough, if you don't wake up your brain enough, you'll just fall into a dreamless sleep. I like to start off with 5 minutes and then increase that time by 5 minutes until you find that perfect zone. Also, don't look at your phone or TV or play video games. Maybe read a book. Read Stephen LeBurge's book about lucid dreaming. That is a great thing to do. Also, don't do it in your bed. Maybe get up and sit on a couch or something outside while you're doing this. And the next thing you do, very simply, is just fall asleep. And try and fall asleep picturing yourself becoming lucid, having a lucid dream. However, the best way to use the wake back to bed technique is to use it in combination with a couple other techniques. And I've outlined these exact techniques in my exclusive side-along nebula video. I'll tell you more about that at the end of this video. The next advanced technique is wild, or wake-induced lucid dreaming. All wild is just falling asleep consciously. That's it. Importantly, during this wild technique, don't be afraid. Weird things are going to start to happen. You're going to start to see flashes of light, hear bangs, your heart might start racing. It's going to be pretty scary. That's why I said it's not for the faint of heart. But realize, tell yourself, this is completely normal. This happens to you every single night. The only thing that's different here is you're conscious of it this time. You're aware of what's going on. So relax, it's completely normal, and stay calm. Soon you will be in a lucid dream. The next technique a lot of people like to use is the finger-induced lucid dream. And this is just moving your pointer finger and your middle finger back and forth really slowly. So slowly, in fact, that they might not even be moving, but in your head, you kind of feel them moving. And again, this is doing the thing of keeping your brain awake, keeping your brain aware while you're falling into dreamland. And hopefully soon, you'll be in the lucid dream and wait a second, my fingers are moving, wait a second, this is a dream. Okay, but those are the essential techniques and the advanced techniques. Honestly, if you do just one of those advanced techniques in combination with all of the essential techniques, I bet you'll have your first lucid dream like within the first month. Easily. But now we've gotten onto the cool part. We're actually in the lucid dreaming world. What should we do during this lucid dream? What are cool things we can do? Well, the first thing I would do is increase awareness and increase clarity. As soon as I go into a dream, I yell to the dream, clarity now, and I say it out loud as opposed to thinking it. This helps the dream kind of come into focus and the colors appear more clearly. The next thing I would do is I would say things as opposed to thinking them. I remember when I first started dreaming, I would kind of think, why can't I fly? I should just be able to fly into the air right now. But I couldn't. I would float a little bit and then fall back to the ground. But when I told the dream out loud, I can fly, I will fly right now up into the sky, it just happened. I don't know why this works, but it seems saying things is much more powerful than just thinking them. The third cool thing to do during lucid dreaming is to overcome nightmares. And this is a hugely valuable and amazing thing you can do with lucid dreams, but it's pretty scary. So for the longest time, I had these recurring nightmares. I've probably had like hundreds of these recurring nightmares. I don't know what would happen. My dreams would vary, but by the end of the dream, suddenly everyone in the dream would disappear, and then everything would get really dark. And I would know something out there in the dream world was after me, and it was super duper scary. I started having this dream when I was 8, and I only stopped having this dream when I was like 20, and I would wake up frightened beyond belief. But at one point, after the 100th plus time I had this dream, I decided to do something about it. I looked up how do you get rid of nightmares, and one of the first things that popped up was use lucid dreaming. And as I kept doing my research, I learned this idea that maybe it's not working because everything in your dream is a part of you. Everything in this dream, even the nightmare character, is a part of you. It's just a shadow aspect or some part of you that you've pushed down pretty deep. So what you're meant to do is express a feeling of love and curiosity and warmth towards this dream character, towards this nightmare figure, because theoretically it's a part of yourself. And when you express this warmth towards it, it's almost like you're accepting this shadow aspect. But I was like, wait a second, I have to confront and hug this monster that's been killing me and attacking me every night for like 10 years? I can't do that. So again, I looked up this research and did the strategy, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this thing. The first time it happened, I was too scared and I woke myself up. The second time this happened, I was too scared and I woke myself up. The third time it happened, I started to walk towards the scary figure because again, remember in these situations, I'm all alone, I can't speak, my body is really slow, and I know this thing is some angry thing coming at me. I started to walk towards it, but then I got too scared and I woke up. But the fourth time it happened, I want to read you an entry from the dream journal, the night where I successfully conquered my nightmare. I somehow knew the monster was down a dark, narrow set of stairs towards a basement, and I walked my way down. My heart was pounding and I was still extremely terrified. I remembered my strategy of expressing love and affection towards this scary dream character. But as I walked down this scary, narrow hallway, I saw the frightening purple figure. And this frightening purple figure was huge and tall, and the face was deformed, and whatever it was began making its way towards me, and my fear, my heart, everything started building, getting faster. But I projected this feeling of love. I stayed brave, and it took every ounce of courage I had to express this feeling of love and affection towards this character. And I asked, "Why are you doing this?" And immediately this monster, this purple crazy thing, shrunk down to an average person with dark brown hair and a regular face. And he said, "I am not sure why I am doing this." And the next thing I knew, I was not afraid. The dream was not a nightmare. It was an amazing lucid dream. And I was walking down the lovely suburbs with this once scary dream character. And maybe one or two more times I had this scary dream, but every time this happened, I just confronted it with love and affection. I said, "Who are you? What are you doing? Why are you here?" And the dream character, the nightmare figure, went away. The number 4 cool thing to do is problem solving. And after I'd become pretty decent at lucid dreaming, I heard of people creating their own offices. And in their own offices, they had people like Albert Einstein and Benjamin Franklin to study with. So what you can do is you can create your own office. Create a place where you can study your dream office. Who do you want to talk to? Do you want to talk to Richard Feynman? I'd like to talk to Richard Feynman. Do you want to talk to Gandhi? Do you want to talk to Leonardo da Vinci? Or do you want to hang out with Leonardo DiCaprio? You can do whatever you want. You can use this time to study. Now, I'm not even going to go into all the other fun little things because you can think of those fun little things pretty much right away. I just want to talk about one more cool thing that you really should do when you have lucid dreams. So my favorite thing to do with this is explore the universe and explore yourself. So when you're in a lucid dream, I strongly ask you to ask a serious, big question. Some good questions are, who am I? Where am I going? What is my purpose? What should I be doing right now? And you can, of course, ask the question, what is the meaning of life? Okay, so that is a lot of information, but again, this whole lucid dream thing is super awesome. You get extra hours in night. You get time at nighttime to do crazy things. And if you consistently do these strategies, I promise you, you will have a lucid dream. And are you dreaming right now? If you're not sure, do a reality check. Look at your hands. Do you want to have your first lucid dream tonight? Well, I figured out a strategy, a combination of some techniques that gets people, even beginners, even people that have never tried lucid dreaming before, to have lucid dreams the first night they try. And I call it the ultimate lucid dreaming technique. So this method integrates the wild technique, the wake back to bed technique, and one more technique. And I talk about this entire method, this entire strategy, the ultimate lucid dreaming technique, the ultimate lucid dreaming strategy, exclusively on Nebula. And Nebula is this amazing platform that I'm building with other creators where you can watch other exclusive full-length videos from me. You can also see my YouTube videos a week early on Nebula. Like for example, next week's video is already out right now on Nebula. And I have other exclusive videos on Nebula, like the story of a crazy gunshot wound in the hospital. And I'm putting these videos exclusively on Nebula because they just wouldn't work on YouTube. Nebula doesn't have an algorithm or ads. It is just a platform with great, unique content made by fantastic educational creators. You can also see content from other creators that I love, like Thomas Frank, MKBHD, and Real Life Lore. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Something is weird. Maybe, is this a dream? I don't wear glasses. That's right. Oh my bok choy hat. I was looking for that. That's normal.